Yo, what's good guys? This is Chris from WearTesters.com. Today we got a shoe that I was really anticipating but kind of like forgot about almost because it's, you know, the annual Air Max model. And these guys right here are the brand new Air Max 720. So the Air Max 720 is an interesting one. It is the second model in a row from Nike that is an Air Max shoe, not for performance. This one is just designed for lifestyle. Crazy. I think it's awesome, especially with the way that the Air Max line has kind of evolved over the years, where they are looked at primarily as a lifestyle shoe. Because when you think of the Air Max, you think of performance or lifestyle?
Lifestyle.
So you don't think of Air Max as the running shoe?
No.
Which is weird, because back in the day, it was like the pinnacle.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Almost like what Jordan brand in the Air Jordan, it was originally the upper echelon, the best of the best as far as basketball shoes go. And now the majority look at that shoe, any of them, even the ones that are not technically outdated, and they're just like, no, those are lifestyle shoes. And I'm like, no, they're not.
Although with a runner, that is so much better.
That's the thing with a runner. I think that the sport has advanced like crazy. Basketball, while there are lots of advancements, I don't think it's been quite a bit of like as a jump as running. Running is where they always test out new shit. You ever notice that? Before anything comes to basketball, it's tested out in a runner first.
Except for the Adapt BB.
No, that shoe was that first one, the Earl.
I thought that was just for casual, like...
It's like that running inspired. Like obviously it's so clunky because of the mechanism that nobody would run in it, but it was a runner. It wasn't like a runner trainer. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Everything is tested out in runners first. It's so crazy, but that's what it is.
We're your guinea pigs?
It's not that you're guinea pigs, it's that you're the safe bet because you run straight. So if you can get that part down, then you can work on the lateral problem. And that's kind of what these are essentially, which is interesting because this is again, lifestyle shoe, the largest Air Max unit that they've ever put in an Air Max shoe or in a shoe in general. And what I mean by largest is not by like the total circumference, like underfoot feel and stuff, because if you're counting that, this is actually not. But what they mean by largest is the tallest. This is the tallest Air Max unit that they've ever created. The Air Max 270 was the first, and this is the second one. It's just a couple of millimeters taller, but when you're my size, that counts. What? Actually, that sounds kind of bad. Now again, this Air Max unit is very large in the back and then it tapers off in the front, and it's probably one of the most comfortable Air Max units or Air Max shoes that I've ever put on my feet, which is strange to say because I've pretty much worn like, not all of them, but I've worn a lot of them, especially the newer or more modern stuff, and this is hella comfortable, especially compared to the Vapor Max. Like they're comfortable, but I don't find to be like mind-blowingly comfortable. This, I put them on and I was like, holy crap, these are hella comfortable. So this guy right here on the outsole features rubber on the actual air unit itself, something that the Vapor Max actually like kind of did and didn't do. Like there was like portions of it. There's pegs on the actual air unit and then there's rubber pieces. It's not like this, where this entire like area right there that you can see is actual rubber, so it's protecting the airbag underneath it. I think that's a fantastic thing, especially when we're talking about lifestyle. This shoe should get some miles on it from people that want to wear these as like your daily shoe. And then inside here, this black portion, it's actually foam. I don't know what kind of foam it is. The 270 was an interesting shoe. It was a dual injected system in the forefoot, so you had Cushlon as the carrier and then injected Phylon within that. Injected Phylon, like I've been telling you guys as of late or recently because I've been using it a lot more, is basically it's EVA. Phylon is EVA. Injected Phylon or injected EVA is a bouncier version of the material. So all foam is not just foam. There's different levels and all that stuff, or different mixtures, and so the injected kind is one of the better ones to use. This stuff inside here is hella bouncy and it's really comfortable. Like I can't like tell you guys that enough. And so it leads me to believe that it's injected Phylon. Again, don't know for sure, but that's what I'm gonna go with. And then this little oval panel right here is rubber again. So you have rubber here and then on top of the actual air unit. Again, I think that's a good move, especially for durability, especially because these are lifestyle shoes. Although you would want that for a runner for durability, but the reason why they cut that out is for weight reduction. You're not worried about that same thing when it's just a lifestyle shoe. Now the Air Max unit itself is big. There's normally pillars within Air Max units. This guy does not have it. It's just an air unit, like a balloon or like a bubble and all that stuff. And it's this shape right here. It ends right here, basically a giant U. And then inside there you can kind of see, but inside there it's got a black portion in there, and that's the wedge, and that's the stability part where normally there would be those pillars. And those pillars are typically filled with foam, which is what this wedge is filled with. So whatever that black stuff is on the bottom, which again I think is injected Phylon, that's going to be filled up in that wedge. So you're getting basically dual cushion. The foam is there to kind of stabilize or balance things out, and then the air unit is there to give you that, oh crap, I'm walking on air feeling, which is what you get when you first put these on. Pretty cool, yeah?
Yeah.
I know that you didn't know that. She's sitting there being like, oh, she's hella jealous.
I'm really
They
jealous.
didn't have her size, so I didn't get them for her, but like they have my size, so you know what that means. No shoes. Now on top of all of that plush cushion or bouncy cushion, you have to do something to kind of like stabilize that area so that you're not walking around rolling your ankles. Got this kind of like top TPU layer, which you can see wrapping up the actual shoe itself, and then it extends to the forefoot. So this whole section where the bag stops, that's where the TPU starts. So the very tip of the toe is not air, it's not foam or any of that stuff. It's, well, there's some foam under there, but all of this stuff is plastic. So it's stabilizing that area. When you step down, it's not going to compress too much. And then you can go into your stride or your what do you call it?
Your gait?
Your gait when you walk and all that stuff, and you can start strutting.
Because that's what you're gonna do.
Gonna be like Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Now the upper itself is an interesting one. It looks like mesh, but it does not feel like it. It feels kind of rubbery, even though again, it looks like mesh. And then they've kind of like heat pressed the design into it, which I think looks great. This is one version of the shoe. There's also gonna be a different version of the shoe that has a more like solid looking mesh or textile pattern to it. And again, these guys right here, they have like a rubbery feeling to it. It's kind of interesting. And I think it's because the shoe is made out of 70% recycled material. And I think that includes the airbag, because I have a friend who used to actually like contribute on WearTesters. He now works for Nike, and he worked, I don't know if this is supposed to be public. I'm gonna say it anyways. So they've been expanding like what they're doing in Beaverton. They wanna do as much of the important things in-house to kind of cut down or combat, you know, fake manufacturing and all that stuff overseas. And so a lot of the air units now are made here in the US, which I think is interesting.
I think that's really cool.
It's actually super cool. This is public information. They put out YouTube videos like showing you like the inside of the factory. So all of these things I believe are, you know, made out of recycled materials for the most part. I don't know what exactly isn't, but 70% is a lot. Not quite 100, but it's as close as, you know, they've gotten so far, which I think is dope.
And they're not as expensive as the Adidas.
But the Adidas is technically a collaboration.
With Parlay?
Because that's an actual place.
Okay.
And I think they're the ones that are doing a lot of the work to get the junk out of the ocean. Whereas I don't know where Nike's getting stuff from. I know that they're reusing the plastics themselves, the scraps that like get die cutted out before they get blown into a bubble.
Oh, they just like remelt it down?
Correct, yeah. So then they do all of that themselves. Also, this little plastic piece is probably recycled. These little fuse panels, this material, obviously that rubbery feeling. I'm assuming that's a lot of plastic.
So just not the fabric-y stuff?
Even then, that could be recycled. I really don't know. That's the interesting part about recycled materials. This part right here, the foam, is probably not recycled. So again, 70% recycled product or materials in this product right here, which I think is really, really dope. The retail price is pretty expensive. They're 180 bucks. For a lifestyle shoe, that's a lot. For a basketball shoe, that's a lot. If it's within your budget, great. If it's not, I'm just letting you know it's $180. So
maybe it is comparable then to the Adidas by Parlay.
Those are about 200, aren't they?
I just know that I always really like the colors because it's that nice teal blues, and I go to grab them and I'm like, I could get a different version for less.
I think they are about 200. So this is still technically a little cheaper. Now, as far as fit is concerned, these guys do fit true to size. I think that they fit on the snug side. So if you have ever worn a pair of Air Max 97s, that was my first initial thought with these, where I was almost like, I think I might want to go up half a size, but it is a softer material than the 97s. The 97s are built with 97 material, so like leathers and stuff. So going true to size for me is going to work out once these break in. Trying them on in store is going to be important for a lot of people, especially wide footers, because again, they fit very snug. Something that I do like, something that you might not.
I'm thinking then if you've had the 270, you should get that size, because I went up half a size on mine.
Oh yeah, so the 270 actually was very tight.
Yes.
These don't feel as tight. The 270 was a one-piece
Oh, okay.
upper.
Maybe that helps.
Yeah, this has a tongue. Good thing you brought that up. This has a tongue, so it does help. It alleviates a lot of that stress right here because of one piece, especially out of that type of material where it didn't stretch a lot right in that section. You do feel restricted or confined, so you won't get that same feeling in these but they are just about as snug. So again, like Mrs. Wing was saying, if you are a wide footer, you might want to just initially consider going up half a size just from the start. And that pretty much takes care of it for these guys. I think that these are awesome. Everything from this colorway to the iridescent look that they have on the little overlay panels, all the way down to the packaging and box. This guy comes in a nice sleek black box, whereas the 270s came in a white one. They've got a lot of that kind of like holographic hits all over the box with all of the Air logos from the past, which I think is super dope. When you open the box, that's when things get real. And you have the holographic paper, which I understand. A lot of people are like, it's just the box, who cares? Look, dude, for 180 bucks, you gotta wow me a little bit. And if it's not just with the shoes, it's gotta be with the box too. It's funny when people say that, because they were saying it's just the box, but then a lot of those same people were mad that the Jordan 11 Concord didn't come in a pull-out box. And they were like, for 220 bucks or whatever the shoe retailed for, I don't think they were 220, maybe they were.
I just like that this box, it's different looking, but it fits. If you're a person who keeps all the boxes, it's not oddly shaped.
I think that it's awesome. I just really liked everything about these right from the jump. As soon as I saw them, I was like, hey, this remind me of the foam posits. I thought that was really cool. This shoe is going to be massively produced with a ton of colorways when they release. When that's going to be, I'm not exactly sure. I know that they're coming out on Air Max Day. I don't know if they're coming out before. And Air Max Day is March, you said?
March 26th, but Nike is taking the whole month.
Okay, so these might release earlier than Air Max Day, but that's all pretty much in a lead up to this is the new shoe. So I think that these are really dope. Let me know what you guys think about these down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support, and until next time, guys, have a good one.